Good evening and welcome to this evening's mid-year band concert. Here are a few reminders before we begin. Please turn off all wireless devices. There's no food or drink allowed in the Performing Arts Center. For the safety of our performers, flash photography is prohibited. Please only enter or leave the Performing Arts Center between performances or at the end of the show. Alcohol and tobacco products are expressly forbidden from all district property. Please do not put your feet on armrests or climb over the seats. Please do not leave any personal items in the aisles, as performers will use them during the show. And please make note of all exit signs in case of an emergency. By following these guidelines, you help to make tonight's event a great one for everyone. Those not complying will be asked to leave the Performing Arts Center. We thank you again for coming, and please enjoy the show. We now present the mid-year band concert.
Hello everyone, welcome to tonight's concert. My name is Jen Farrell. I'm an alum band parent. My son Jack graduated last year. I'm also a co-chair for the craft fair along with Maggie Leha. The craft fair, as you know, is this weekend, and it is the biggest fundraising event for the music program. It not only helps band, but choir and orchestra also. It brings in 50% of the money for the program. I want to thank those that have signed up for a shift to volunteer, and I'm actually here to beg, really beg for help if you haven't. This event is a huge fundraising event, and we cannot do it without you guys. It will not be successful, and we need all the help we can get. If your child is a senior, this is the last big event that will fulfill the eligibility for the scholarship. Remember that your child does not need to be majoring in music to be eligible for the scholarship. And new this year, students going into the military or trade schools can apply. So this is the first time for that. Along with volunteering, we are also asking for monetary donations for concessions. It helps us keep our costs down. We had to go today and we spent close to $1,000 for concession items. Also, if you like to bake, or if any grandmas like to bake, we also take bake sale items, which is a pure profit for us during our bake sale, and it's always well received from the vendors along with the people that come to the craft fair. You can check out the QR code in your program for ways to help us out and to sign up. So we would appreciate that. We'll also be in the lobby. You can talk to us. If you are signed up to tape tonight, it will be right after the concert, and we will meet in the Commons area. And if you have signed up to volunteer this weekend, or if you will sign up to help us, when you do come this weekend, you just check in the Commons area at the bottom of the stairs. That's where our information table is at, and you can check in right there. Also, finally, if you live by a busy street, busy intersection, or if you own a business in town and you'd like to put out a yard sign or put some flyers out, we do have some of those. We would appreciate it. We got to get the word out. We pay for a lot of advertising, but we also ask you guys if you can put signs out. That would be great. Just don't put them in the parkway, because the village will take them, and I know that because I work for the village and I see tons of signs that are picked up, especially during election season. So thank you guys. Hope to see as many of you as we can this weekend. We hope for a great craft fair. And now let's put our hands together and welcome the band.
Good evening, everyone. Sorry we had a couple little delays there. My name is Stuart Bailey. I'm one of the band directors at Sandburg High School. Welcome to our mid-year band concert. We're going to kick things off tonight with our newest band, which is our beginning band. What's kind of cool about this is we have students who are starting an instrument for the first time, a woodwind or brass instrument, have never played in band before. We have some students who are learning a secondary instrument, and we have some students actually learning a third or even fourth instrument in this band. This is an extra band class, not meant to replace concert band or symphonic band or wind symphony, but it's an extra class that meets during the 4th hour lunch. So we have a couple short pieces to play. We're going to start with point 5 and hope you enjoy it. I know he's not listening to the program, but give George Bailey a big thank you, too, for helping us out, filling in with some percussion. Got one more tune to play for you. And again, really proud of these folks. Some of these folks have only been playing for, what, not even 2 months? And already out doing a concert, which is really cool. Here is Dark Star. short stage transition. We'll be right back with you. So the next 5 pieces you're going to hear are going to be chamber music. I don't know if anyone had a chance to hear our wind symphony, flute ensemble, clarinet ensemble, and we also had the alto sax piano duet going on. So last week we had our solo ensemble festival, which is a requirement for everybody in the band program. And we're going to play some of that for you this evening. The symphonic and concert band people, along with our first hour percussion, we're going to each play a portion of our chamber music for you for them. The Wind Symphony folks have a little bit longer program with their full band, and therefore that's why we had their chamber music going a little bit earlier. So I'm going to start with one of our clarinet ensembles, and this is Waltz alla Scherzo. Next group up will be our concert band trumpet quartet. Moving on to a mixed wind ensemble, you see we have some clarinets. We have bass clarinet, contrabass clarinet, and tuba, making up one of my favorite chamber music pieces that I've done in my years of teaching. This is Underviege by Edvard Grieg. Moving on, this is our symphonic band saxophone ensemble, playing Parade by Johann Sebastian Bach. our Soul Ensemble Festival last week, the students got a chance to work with some really fine high school and collegiate level coaches playing their chamber music and getting feedback. So we're moving on to now our percussion ensemble. We're going to play a portion of a piece called Dark Flight. This can also be a little bit of a preview to Percussorama. And Percussorama is coming up on April 2nd, a little earlier this year. It's our once-a-year all-percussion concert, and you'll hear some stuff like this. It's the second half of Dark Flight. Let's have a brief pause while we reset for our full symphonic band and concert band.
Brian Hillhouse. I team teach the bands with Mr. Bailey. In front of you is the entire combined symphonic band, concert band, and percussion band. We're going to play 2 tunes for you together tonight. The first one is a John Philip Sousa favorite. This one's entitled El Capitan, after his comedic operetta, also named El Capitan. You'll hear themes throughout the entire thing, throughout the entire operetta, but these are, they were kind of compiled all into a very famous march, a favorite by many, El Capitan. Enjoy.
Our second piece needs a little bit of an explanation. This is a little bit different. So some of you remember our student teacher from the fall, Mr. Yanni Ovalle from the University of Illinois. Did a really nice job with us. He's actually out on the job circuit right now. But and he said, Mr. Bailey, have you done any music by Viet Quang? I said, no, I've heard of him, but we haven't done any of his music. He goes, we're doing a lot of it at U of I and all the different ensembles, and he's really creative and really innovative. Very young composer in his 20s and writes some really creative stuff. I want to tell you a little bit about Diamond Tide. Mr. Kwong writes, a 2010 article published in Nature Physics details an experiment in which scientists were able to successfully melt a diamond and for the first time measure the temperature and pressure necessary to do so. When diamonds are heated to very high temperatures, they don't melt. They simply turn into graphite, which then melts, and the thought of liquid graphite isn't nearly as appealing or beautiful as liquid diamond. Therefore, the addition of extremely high pressure, 40 million times the pressure of what we feel on Earth at sea level, is crucial to melt a diamond. The extreme temperature and pressure used in this experiment are found on Neptune and Uranus, and scientists therefore believe that seas of liquid diamond are possible on these two planets. Oceans of diamond may be and may account for these planets' peculiar magnetic and geographic poles, which do not line up like they do here on Earth. Lastly, as scientists were melting the diamonds, they saw floating shards of solid diamond forming in the pools, just like icebergs in our oceans. Imagine distant planets with oceans of liquid diamond filled with bergs of sparkling solid diamonds drifting in the tide. These theories are obviously all conjecture, but this alluring imagery provided heaps of inspiration for Diamond Tide, which utilizes the melting sounds of metallic water percussion and trombone glissandi throughout. Hope you enjoy movement 2 of Diamond Tide. Before they leave the stage, I wanted to do this before the piece started. I got ahead of myself. But we could not do that piece in El Capitan without some of our Wind Symphony folks coming in to help and fill out some instrumentation. Wind Symphony folks, can you stand if you're helping us on this? Give them a round of applause. Really appreciate our Wind Symphony folks helping us. All right, we'll have one more brief pause while we reset for Wind Symphony. Thank you for your patience. Wind Symphony's coming out. I'll try to get through some of my thank yous and announcements right now. You heard from our music boosters earlier. We couldn't do this, first of all, without their help. Mrs. Jean Alvarez and our awesome music boosters. Give them a big round of applause. Now, as of this morning, we only had about 59 out of over 100 band members who signed up to help with the craft show. So there's still about a little under half of the band members as of this morning had not signed up to help. I'm going to be here tomorrow night, Saturday, Sunday. I saw Dr. Smith, who's wishing me luck for tonight and tomorrow and Saturday and Sunday. Give Dr. Smith, by the way, a big round of applause once again for finding time in his busy schedule to come out. So I know I'm repeating myself from what Jen Farrell said earlier, but please, students and parents, if you can help, we could really use that. Our District 230 Foundation concert is next Wednesday at Wheaton College. Our Wind Symphony, along with Stagg and Andrew, will be performing at Wheaton College. Some of you might have come down last year when we played at Symphony Center, but that's going to be a great concert. Our guest conductor is the band president at ILMEA, Dr. Melissa Gustafson Hines from Fallon High School. Super happy to have her with. Those of you going to New York, the next New York trip payment, I believe, is coming up tomorrow. If you have your credit card, I think that's an automatic deduction, but please contact me or Bob Rogers Travel if you have any questions. You're going to hear a piece at the end, which is going to feature some Japanese drumming, and if you can, in the balcony, you might see these Japanese drums back there. They're really cool, and we wouldn't have them if it wasn't for Dr. Jumiakis, Director of Percussion at Vandercook and awesome band parent. I don't know if Dr. Yakis is here, but can we give him a big thank you and a round of applause? You out there, Dr. Yakis? Yeah, so he might be teaching tonight. Then again, big thank you to Jeff Epperson, our surgeon of sound. Give him a big thank you and round of applause. And I believe we also have Mr. Matt Konopke here tonight, who's helping with the admin on duty along with Dr. Smith. So give Mr. Konopke a big round of applause. And of course, Sean Arola, our awesome assistant principal. Janet Daniels is our division chair. I feel like I'm going to have the band playing like on the Oscars. They're going to play me off any second now for going too long on announcements. All right, we'll do a brief warm-up and then we'll be right with you. heard, the last piece you heard was Diamond Tide, which was just written a few years ago. That march, that's the original version of it, Bombasta, written in 1895. Very rare to find band music that old. O.R. Farrar wrote that for a military band in Nebraska at the time. And it's also been used as a circus march. I like that march a lot. We're going to slow things down a little bit, a little more lyrical, with a tune called Rosa Midra by English composer Ralph Vaughan Williams, arranged by Edward Beeler. Very famous arrangement for band. We hope you enjoy it.
Our last piece we're going to play is actually it's in 6 movements. We're going to play 3 of them for you tonight. Some of you may have remembered us playing a piece called The Big Blue Marble. I believe it was 2022 when we had played that, and that was by the same composer, Julie Giroux. That was actually her Symphony Number 6. These come from her Symphony Number 4, entitled The Bookmarks of Japan. Each one of the movements is from a bookmark, and it's actually from an artist that made up to 50. I think one was made 55 different bookmarks, and another made, it was in the 40s. But these beautiful bookmarks that were all hand carved on a wood block that would get stamped many times. She took each of these movements and kind of dedicated after each of these artists. Some, I think movements 1 and 2 we're going to play today were from the same artist there. The first movement is Mount Fuji. If you can imagine yourself on the early wee mornings before the sun has rise and the mist is in the air and seeing the sunrise, and then you being at the foot of Mount Fuji. The second movement is Marketplace Bridge, which is a famous place in Japan where you could see actually Mount Fuji from the bridge. And you'll hear, as she describes, different instruments being different barters and different salesmen within the marketplace themselves. So you get to kind of hear a little bartering back and forth between the instruments. And the final movement we're going to end with is after a famous Japanese temple entitled Thunder Gate, after the various god statues that are around the temple. And she dedicated this specific gate. She got inspiration for that from that gate. So enjoy Julie Giroux's Bookmarks from Japan. about that percussion section too. As mentioned before, we have we need a lot of help this weekend. Well, another plug for the craft fair, but we also need a lot of help breaking the stage down so we can get this ready for other events that we have tonight. Thank you so much for coming out.